All right, the video you're going to watch is a full walkthrough before and after a cleanup, just to document the condition of the property. This particular group wanted absolute perfection, and I just had to go through and document exactly why we couldn't do that, why we couldn't get a pristine finish before and after, just so you can see, with the mess and without the mess. And there's a few reasons to do that. First and foremost, the price of the cleanup was extremely high, and with the level of expectation they had, you need to document, because you could run into a situation where they want to sue, or they don't want to pay you because it's not up to snuff. But here's the deal: on a property like this, you just cannot get that level of perfection for the budget they had. And truth be told, I think we held this account for 4 or 5 months, and then they went on to someone cheaper, and all of basically the cleanup work I did has been undone. So that's great. But I did get paid pretty darn well for this, because no one else wanted to do it. She had called, probably 8 or 9 other folks, and just no one even wanted to touch it because of the condition it was in. And so that's how that goes. But this is a slow video. It's a boring video, but it's important to show people how to document jobs that are over a certain dollar amount, or if the customers are weird and finicky and it doesn't feel right, just take the job and document it just to be safe. If it's too long and too boring, use the speed up feature on the YouTube player. It'll make it a lot better for you. Thanks. Alright, Chatsworth Storage, climate control RV. And I'm just doing a quick walk of the property before I do anything. Here is, I don't know what this is, but it's a mess. I didn't do that. Let's see how tall it is. Sign's already down. Let's do the fence and see how tall that is. I'll be doing all that. And cleaning up all along this fence. And then we come out here, and you can see how tall it is up to the building. You see how tall that is up to the second fence line. So about, was that almost 6 feet? Almost. Very tall. Alright. Coming up to another one of these boxes. That's how it is before I start. Weird random wire. We get over to here, and this sign is already down. A little wire down here at the bottom. See how tall it is out here by the other fences. Okay. As discussed in our text message, that hill will not be touched. It's too steep, can't stand on it. We're gonna come over here, take a look. There's another mess. Building. Let's take a look at these gutters. Let's see, there's a bolt missing or laying there. Don't know what that's from. Gutters look to be in order. Another broken bolt right there. Alright, so gutters look to be in order. Coming out here. It's tall. It's tall. Big tall mess up there. So let's get closer to this building. Sort of wire laying over here. That's not good, but right there. Here. A little bit of gutter damage right here. And of course, we're just going right up to this fence. That's it. That's the property. Of course, all of this is very, very tall. There we go. All right, here we are with the after. All that's cut down. All that's cut down. There are some wires out around this key code thing. You can kind of see that blue wire. It runs under that, and there's all this metal. So I kind of worked around that. Kind of worked around this junk. You know, sprayed around it so I'm not damaging it. But you can see all this is cut back and clean. Sprayed around that so that I don't have to mess with those wires. And we're just gonna walk the whole property. It's a little windy today and very, very hot. Let me get out of the shade here so you can see all that's cut back. And all this thick stuff will wilt away and be mulchable. Because these fresh, you know, thick weeds, they don't really mulch up well. There's that field. Remember, this was coming about all the way up to the door. Sprayed around some of this because I think there's like a wire here. I don't know what that is, but I just kind of sprayed this so it's a little scraggly. And you'll remember this was coming up to that second board there. So about 6 foot tall. Looking good. And it was running all the way down here. We're just gonna go right around here. We'll get a little street view. I did what I could with this fence, you know, this construction fence, this black low stuff. It's really in the way. This stuff's supposed to be removed when they complete construction, but you can see how much we've cut out there. Same story around this junk, sprayed around it so it'll die off. Come out here and take a look. Cut all the way down. Cut all this out. You can just see how clear it is all the way through. And we'll walk down. I don't know what it is about the weeds out here, but all this stuff is left over from the spring, so it's really screwing with my allergies, you know. Yesterday I was just dying, coughing and nose running, because it's all the spring stuff, but it's July, you know, or June, I guess, the end of June. All right. Come out here. I had to go around all these little posts. Very annoying, very stupid. Hate that. That's the worst. This, hate it. Don't know why this stuff can't be smoothed out and fixed to where it's actually easily maintainable. Fence looking good, clean and clear. Here's the field that was once as tall as I am. Got it all clean, crisp, cut. And those weeds going up to the door. Look at that. perfectly clean. Had to go through and weed eat all of this. They got giant holes and runoff from horrible rain. So that's why no one wants to do these jobs, is because they're absolutely miserable. And I can't just get on a mower and mow it. I have to go weed eat all this, you know. Got all of the pillars clean and clear. Get a closer look at that. And then of course all of this stuff got sprayed out. All under here got sprayed out. And then I took it a little bit further and sprayed a little strip out to the side. You got your large units over here, all cut back clean and clear. I got this parking area sprayed. Came back, got into this little corner here, got all that sprayed. Couldn't move the pipe, so I just kind of did what I could, you know. Makes it a lot easier when things are cleaned up. See, this was all the way out to here thick because you can't mow this crap. It's horrible. It's miserable. Again, I wish places like this would flatten out, make it maintainable, make it accessible to maintain. Because the fact is, you make it so miserable. All these are dirt piles. I can't mow that. I have to weed eat it. I had to cut all this crap off the fence. And I've got pictures to show. It was coming out to like right here. Cut all that back with hand tools. Can't mow it because of all the rocks and crap. But yeah, if they would just clear this, make it flat, get rid of some of these rocks, you know, you wouldn't have to pay the misery tax, right? Because this is an expensive property, the way that it sits. But it could be so much cheaper if I could just mow it. Now we discussed in text, I'm not touching that hill. No, just flat out no. Sorry if you're unable to hear me for the wind. And now while I am not going over the hill itself, I did cut a little path around the base of the hill. You know, if I can hit it easily, I wanted to, you know, do a little bit to it. You got some big stuff out here because they have these little parking, looks like spots. I don't really know the point of this. I don't know if they're going to build something else or what, but I cleared so that they can pull as far back as possible. Cleared a bunch of thick stuff off of here. And then this was the worst part of it on the other side of the fence here, because it was way above here, so I cut it about as short as I could. Now the issue here is that there is construction fence down here as well. You can kind of see that in there. Again, all that stuff should have been removed when they finished building this stuff, so I can't get a good solid finish on this because all this construction fencing is down in there. And then you have the city electrical box here. I got as close as I could without messing anything up, you know. Wanted to cut it down, but not break any rules, so to speak. But you can see through the fence now. How about that? How about that? And again, same thing, all these rocks and boulders and this construction crap. You know, I can't get a good clean finish on it like I want. So it just kind of gets cut down about as low as I can cut it. And that's it. We are good to go.